Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are on day 7 of the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, every day I'm opening up one of the windows from the Advent Calendar and I'm going to create something with it, a gift card, a tag, just a small little project. These calendars are already sold out, so you won't be able to get the exact thing if you don't already have the Advent Calendar. It's just meant to be inspirational. I will list and link all the supplies that I use down in the description box, but I will also put some suitable alternatives for what's actually in the calendar. So this is a layering set, and I love layering sets for creating cool backgrounds. This one is a tiny one. It's about 3 by 3, and it has 4 dots in the corner. So you can actually use a pencil in those dots and use that to line up your stencil. I didn't do it this way. I just lined it up with the corner of my paper and that worked as well. The one thing to note though is if you don't want ink through those little holes in the stencils, I suggest you mask it off with some tape. I didn't do that, so I ended up getting 4 little holes in it. I was able to trim them off by trimming it really, really close to the stenciled background. But just a heads up, if you're going to try this and you have stencils that have those little registration marks, if you don't want ink in them, mask them off. So I decided to just do it in Christmas colors just because this was a holiday calendar. So I did the first layer in green, the second layer here I'm doing in red, and you'll notice that I'm going both clockwise and counterclockwise with my ink blending brush to make sure I get the ink evenly distributed. These stencils also have right on the bottom of them layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, so you know exactly which layer is first, second, and third, as well as the fact that you can tell by where that labeling is exactly how they go together. So the third layer, I'm going to use the Texture Paste Sparkle. This is clear texture paste, but it has a little bit of silver glitter in it. So it's just going to add a little bit of dimension as well as shine and sparkle to that background there. I let that dry completely, and then I'm using a square Spellbinders die to die cut that. I'm just going to line it up, tape it in place to make sure that it doesn't shift to my die cutting machine, and then I'm going to die cut it in my Big Shot machine. Once I'm done die cutting that, I'm going to cut a mat a little bit larger to this stenciled background and then create the gift card base. Now this stenciled background is really, really cute. I'm trying to keep most of the supplies that I use or the dies or the stamps from this advent calendar, so I don't really want to pull out any new ones. So I'm not going to actually complete this card. I'm just going to do the front of this card, and then I will save it hopefully for something else that's in the calendar and use that to complete it. It's just a really cool background, and I thought it'd be nice to have a completed card base in order to use it or to add something to it. I love the colors in this, but you could use any colors you want. The sky's the limit. You're only limited to your imagination. So it's really great that you can customize it to whatever project you're creating. I only stenciled this once. You could easily stencil it multiple times and create a larger background. I thought I would just do one time just to kind of try it out and see what the finished image was. But it would be really cute as an all-over background. I like the fact that it is a small print. With some layering stencils, because they're made for larger cards, the print is a little bit bigger. So I like the fact that this one's smaller. You could even stencil it, like I said, multiple times to create a background, but turn it so that it wasn't a repeated pattern. That would look really, really cool too. So I'm going to leave the card like this for the time being, and hopefully with one of the future windows I'll be able to finish it off. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow for day 8.